In this lesson, we're going to have a look at the enemies of lean: Mura, Muri, and Muda. Some of you may have come across the term Muda. It's the Japanese word for waste. And when we talk about the 8 wastes, we sometimes talk about removing the Muda. However, it's really important that these lesser known siblings are understood because they're major contributors to the waste in an organisation. The first is Mura, or unevenness, and that's where the workload isn't balanced and variations are happening in terms of process quality, cost and delivery. And you can probably think about your own organisation, probably many examples, both in a manufacturing context and an office environment, where you see that unevenness across people, across machinery, across the way that we load our week, our day, our month. Second one is Muri, which is often caused by Mura, by unevenness, and Muri is the overburden. And that's work that creates burden for the team members or processes. So exertion, overworking a person or a machine, unreasonableness, the strain put on processes due to Muri often result in various wastes. So that overburden is going to cause people and processes, machinery, not to work as well as it possibly should do, and it's going to create waste, such as the tin woods that we talked about, the 8 wastes. And then Muda, of course, is that waste. It's any activity that adds cost without adding value to the product. So we refer to those as the enemies of waste, and it's really important that we understand those, not just the Muda, not just the 8 wastes, the traditional 8 wastes. Let's also understand what's potentially causing those. So let's have a look at those in more detail. Here are some examples of Mura, Muri, and Muda. So Mura, unevenness, high, low season, that causes problems. See that in terms of labour profiles, in terms of training people, all sorts of issues that an unevenness because of high, low season cause. Deadlines, setting deadlines. It's a very typical, natural part of human life to have deadlines, but it actually causes an unevenness, especially our response as human beings to deadlines. End of month orders. How many businesses have an influx of orders towards the end of month, both because of customer behaviour, also because of our sales processes and the way that we sell? Month-end closing. Financial processes are particularly prone to this, and especially something like month-end closing, where a heck of a lot of work's done right at the end and in the first few days of the following month to close the previous month. And then competence variations. So people having different levels of competence in doing a job will cause unevenness. If we look at Muri, or overburden, we've got an equal workload distribution. We've got everyday firefighting, which causes overburden. Stress and burnout can cause overburden. Also, overburden can cause stress and burnout, so it can be a bit of a self-perpetuating thing. But because of stress and burnout, we can actually cause overburden on the rest of the organisation. Unreasonable demands, asking people to do things that are either outside their competence levels, outside their capacity because of time and other workloads. And overloading a machine is another typical example of overburden. And then finally, in terms of Muda, or the waste, we already have talked about these. These are the tin woods, the transportation, the inventory, the motion, the waiting, over-processing, overproduction, defects, and skills. So hopefully that's helped to give you that overview. And as we go through the course, you'll see those examples and try and keep your eye out for where things are being caused due to that unevenness and that overburden, because they're sometimes the root cause of the waste that you identify. And in the next lesson, we'll talk about how do we actually tackle the 8 wastes of lean.